Thenismacoi, commonly known as southern bluefin tuna, are the largest fast-swimming fish living in the open seas. Southern bluefin tuna are found throughout the southern hemisphere, mainly in waters surrounding Australia and Indonesia. Southern bluefin tuna were heavily fished in the past, with the annual catch reaching 80,000 tonnes in the early 1960s. Heavy fishing resulted in a significant decline in the numbers of mature fish, and the annual catch began to fall rapidly. In the mid-1980s, it became apparent that the southern bluefin tuna stock was at a level where management and conservation was required. There was a need for a mechanism to limit catches. The main nations fishing southern bluefin tuna at the time, Australia, Japan, and New Zealand, began to apply strict quotas to their fishing fleets from 1985 as a management and conservation measure to enable the southern bluefin tuna stocks to rebuild. The fishing of southern bluefin tuna has become a major issue on a worldwide scale due to overfishing and gaming of the species. Southern bluefin tuna is in high demand in countries including Japan due to the high price that people will pay for the fish and the increased popularity of sashimi. The fact that these fish are caught at a young age before they are able to reproduce are some of the main reasons that the bluefin tuna are dwindling and becoming endangered. On the 20th of May 1994, the then existing voluntary management arrangement between Australia, Japan and New Zealand was formalised when the Convention for the Conservation of Southern Bluefin Tuna, which had been signed by the three countries in May 1993, came into force. The convention created the Commission for the Conservation of Southern Bluefin Tuna, also known as CCSBT. The CCSBT is headquartered in Canberra, Australia. Sadly, the number of southern bluefin tuna in waters surrounding Australia are steadily declining, despite the efforts to conserve and even increase their numbers. Australian fisheries are resorting to penning young tuna for a number of months and in some cases years in order to export them frozen to countries, including Japan and Korea. Within Australian waters, the bluefin tuna are protected under the Environmental Protection and Biodiversity Conservation Act and are considered critically endangered by the IUCN. Within Australia, there are quotas on the number of fish that can be legally caught and the acceptable size and maturity of the fish. This is to reduce the premature lifespan and increase the reproduction of the species. So what can we do to further deter the deterioration in numbers of the southern bluefin tuna? There needs to be harsher penalties for countries that overfish the bluefin tuna. In 2007, WildSingapore.com stated that Japan had its annual quota slashed due to overfishing tuna by 20%, although it is still difficult to police the fishing of the tuna. Many organisations have called for the southern bluefin tuna to be electronically tagged in order to track fishing and the reproduction levels, whilst volunteer and government organisations strive to monitor and protect the species. The sad reality is that the black market sales and import and exportation of southern bluefin tuna will continue. The most important thing that we can do is arm ourselves with education. Education on a personal and local scale, as well as on a global scale. After all, we are all responsible for this world's ecosystems and creating a sustainable environment for the future.